We had a huge viral clip a couple weeks ago because we started talking possible MLB expansion, and we started talking the rumors of MLB realignment. We'll get to the realignment. But in regard to expansion, Sacramento is one of those places. We just saw with the Kings in the finals how passionate this sports community is in Sacramento. It's one of those towns it's always talked about when expansion comes up. Right now, if the MLB were to expand, a lot of rumored cities, a lot of things. Where does Chip put two MLB teams?
Oh, that's a great question. Again, the old school guy in me, and you saw Tampa Bay start looking at this option. Montreal, what a great city, right? I think Montreal is a great city. I love when we can take baseball north of the border, continue to make it international. Speaking of international, Mexico City, another great market that, again, we saw the Giants go down there and play a game. I love seeing MLB trying to expand into those areas. I don't know if there's a big enough market in some of the other Latin American countries yet, but maybe, hopefully so, we can expand. If you look here in the States, everybody's talking about, obviously, Las Vegas, with probably the Oakland A's going there.
Looks like that's set now.
Yeah, Oakland's still a great market. I'm disappointed to see that. Oakland's a great market. Those fans, they've been so loyal for so long. I hate to see them lose essentially a third team, with this, but I understand the reasons why they're looking at Las Vegas. Nashville's talked about, Portland's talked about. Everybody knows the explosion in Nashville. My mother lived there for a few years. I think they need to figure out some of the traffic first, but what a great market. What a great market.
Very big point.
So I think you look at some of those cities. Sacramento obviously is as well. We're sitting right here. Sacramento's a much larger media market than Las Vegas. People don't understand that. They don't understand how big this city is. It's traditionally thought of as a government town, and we are, but a government town for the fifth largest economy in the world. So Sacramento's a great spot. So don't go to sleep on us.
And it's also interesting, too, like, I'm from New Jersey, so at first capital cities always get put into the same boat.
Yeah.
And so I was comparing it to Trenton. It's not like that at all because it is a capital city, but it's huge. And Sac has its different pockets. So, like, I don't know, it's a diverse city. It's very cool. And I was seeing, like, people were talking about the Carolinas getting a team. And I was thinking to myself, just from knowing what I know about Sac, I'm like, Sacramento seems to me more likely than a town like that. But I don't think people realize how strong of a city we have here.
Yeah, Sacramento's great. I would say the one plug is we'd love to see more big businesses here in Sacramento. Obviously, the Bay Area, Southern California, LA, San Diego, lots of big businesses. Would like to see Sacramento continue to grow. And I know Visit Sacramento, I know Greater Sacramento, some of our collaborative initiatives are really trying to bring more business here. And that will continue to help as the city grows.
Have you seen any of the hypothetical maps that have come out for MLB realignment?
I've looked at some of those, but I try and ignore a lot of that so that I don't get sucked into conversations like this and say something that I shouldn't.
Welcome to it. So how would it affect baseball? Oh, I thought we had like a race. Oh, we got the Capital One. We got the Capital One contest going on.
What's in your wallet, Charlie?
I'd pull out a Capital One, but right now Citibank would be angry at me.
Yeah, Citibank it is.
So when we talk about these things like realignment, right? Yeah. So the East, or the Atlantic, how they were calling it, would then have the Mets, Yankees, Red Sox, Phillies, Boston Red Sox. One more I'm probably forgetting in there, maybe the Nationals. The West would have the Dodgers, Giants, A's, the Vegas A's, Angels, and maybe the D-backs in it, or the Padres. How do you feel that would affect Major League Baseball?
Certainly there's some advantages there when you talk about travel. I know that's a big one. We saw the NBA experiment with travel. Even in minor league baseball coming out of the pandemic, instead of 3 and 4 game series, we moved to 6 game series just to limit travel. Number one, for safety. But then when we saw how efficient it was and keeping guys in city and getting in and out and having an off day, it worked out great. So I can see the advantages there. There's certainly some regional competition that's great. I mean, here, the Bay Bridge series when the A's and Giants play. But again, I love the National League. I love the American League. We see the blending with the DH now. But I still think it's fun to have the National League winner play the American League winner, teams that don't see each other all the time or as regularly. So I think that's a unique component that I like in baseball. I mean, you see it in football where there's some crossover, but typically, NFC and AFC, they haven't played each other a lot. And so the Super Bowl's bigger because of that. And I think the World Series is bigger and special because of that in baseball too.